All right, I should probably finally talk about this thing. I've taken a couple days off so I can actually reflect, and now I think I can actually talk about the Subathon and everything that went on during it, and how I feel, and all that stuff. This is going to be very unorganized, but I do want to talk about it, so here we are. Before we talk about the Subathon, though, as usual, let's go ahead and get the fan art section out of the way there. This one is from Grassmask. They said it is a new at the job version of Witch Suris. They said they drew this on their new Wacom Cintiq 16, and they're still getting used to it, so it looks very different from their other work. I think it still looks fantastic, however. Also, C-State Jerry, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub. As usual, if you want your fan art to be shown in a future episode, the best way to do so is dropping it into the fan art section of the Discord, and then you'll be able to see it in future episodes. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and roll that intro. Alrighty. So, the Subathon. Most of you, I would imagine so, most of you, were at least here during various parts of the Subathon, or watching episodes that took place during the Subathon. And, yeah, no, this was quite an ordeal. So let's go ahead and get over the whys first before we do anything else. Why did the Subathon happen? First and foremost, I wanted to celebrate the channel hitting 40,000 subscribers. To me, that felt like a giant milestone because of how long my channel's been stuck in the 30,000 range. It feels like it's been stuck in there for almost a year, so being able to get over that hump was kind of a big deal to me. And I wanted to do something to celebrate it. Now, one of the last times I hit a milestone, I did a 24-hour stream to celebrate it, and I debated between doing a 24-hour stream and a subathon this time. I had never had experience doing a subathon, so I figured I would go with that, not to mention there was another looming threat over my head at the time. And that was a series of medical and dental debts. For those who don't remember, at the beginning of this year, I had to take a handful of streams off due to severe mouth pain. I had a lot of dental work that needed to get done. Raz did as well. And, I mean, heck, even one of the days where I had that mouth pain, I had to talk to one of the people who were going to be running for representative for District 14 in Georgia. And that was like the day after one of my dental surgeries. Not a fun experience, not a fun set of time, and I wish to never feel the kind of pain that I felt in my mouth ever again. Something unique about dental pain. It is amazingly terrible and hard to deal with. Not a lot of painkillers really affect it the same way that like headaches or topical treatments do. Oragel only ever works for about 5 minutes at a time for me, for instance. So, we obviously had this debt that was stacking up from the medical shit. Because when you have a 26% APR on your medical loan, you don't exactly pay that off very easy. You end up paying $150 a month, and it ends up just being, $20 towards your actual balance, if even that. And we had two debts that acted like that, because we both had our medical expenses. Both of them, identically, were $3,000 each, and we were having to pay oodles and oodles and oodles into them. It was not a fun thing. It was not a fun thing at all. So the choice basically got made for me. Do the subathon, because the subathon is at least an event that might make it worth the time that people are effectively paying for me to actually be streaming that long. Now, how long did I end up streaming? 16 days. 16 days. Truthfully, it was 15 days and 23 hours. But effectively, that's 16 days. Non-stop of streaming. No days off. No time off. Nothing. Just work. Just streaming. Constantly. How did we get to that? Well, let's go ahead and go over what happened at the beginning of the stream. I began, before the stream ever even started, putting up the fund and having it set up on my Twitter. Just to say, hey, if you guys donate into this PayPal fund, it'll count towards the subathon prior to the subathon beginning. So the Subathon was supposed to begin as a 12-hour stream, and then time would get added on to it as we went. Well, the timer got shot up to 14 hours when we began, because people had already donated enough money to add that in. For people to figure out how much money was worth what, a single subscription on Twitch is $5. That paid for 5 minutes. That would keep me online for 5 minutes. Now, I only receive $2.50 from that. Twitch takes 50% of everything that you do. And as much as I don't really agree with that particular business model, it is the business model that they've used. So that's how that translates to me. But on PayPal, because I receive 100% of things on PayPal, kind of, like 95%, we went ahead and said, okay, cool, you get double time. If you pay on PayPal, I receive effectively double the funding, so you receive effectively double the time. So $5 on PayPal equals 10 minutes of my time. We had $7,500 of medical debt stacked up, not counting our co-payments. So go ahead and do that math. It equates to about 10 and a half days of time that can be added just from the PayPal fund. Now, bit donations counted the same way as sub donations. So if somebody donated 500 bits, that's $5. That would count for 5 minutes of my time. Same as donating a subscription. So now you know kind of how time gets added on during that. Now, what happened when the stream began, though? Because we began with 14 hours on the timer. The viewers that we had in the beginning shot the timer up to about 20-ish hours, and that was cool. That was neat. I was very thankful for that, and that was amazing. But then something else happened. Pretty much as soon as I went online, a co-creator and someone who I would like to call a friend messaged me and said that they were free to hop on for a chat, because I'd been talking with them in the background. Vosh. Now, I know that there are various people who do or don't like Vosh, and there's plenty of people who have probably unsubscribed from my channel due to me doing any work with the guy at all. I quite frankly don't care. I don't. The One Fool, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an oh well. And I'll say that about any creator that I choose to work with. I choose to work with who I choose to work with, and if you choose not to support me because of who I choose to work with, then I can understand that. But it's not going to influence my personal decisions. Now, Vosh hops in, and we have a very run-of-the-mill chat about video games. If you want to see that episode, it's on my main channel, at least the bit of it that I remember to hit the record button for. But Vosh came in and brought about 300 members of his community over to my stream. And suddenly, the subathon was going to last for a minimum of 77 hours, not 14, not 20. I began with a 3-day-long workday, effectively. And that time only increased. After having Vosh on, which, again, I'm incredibly thankful for, we move on to my next guest, and that was Miss Lacuna. Now, for those who don't know, Miss Lacuna is a mute streamer. And I wanted to do a League of Legends collaboration after a Q&A. One of the goals we had for the subathon was a Q&A section. So I figured, hey, why not bring on Miss Lacuna for the Q&A section? Because just as there's many questions people want to ask me, there's probably questions they have to ask somebody who takes on a very unique role within the streaming community. So, brought on Miss Lacuna. That was 7 p.m. after Vosh. Sea Snake Jiri, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank God that is not keeping me in perpetual hell this time. After that, we had a collaborative game of League of Legends with me, Raz, Miss Lacuna, and 2 other streamers who you've probably, or at least one of them you've been familiarized with on my channel now, Ellie, and then also another streamer called Pao Lulu. Now, Lulu only hopped on for the League of Legends stream, but they are a friend of the channel nonetheless. After the League of Legends stream, we had another Remixin avatar hop on, and they are Jade, who I've done work with previously on Twitch before, on quite a few live streams actually, and there's more of those to come. And then at 1 a.m., Ocean hopped on for us to have a chat. We chatted about the strikes that are happening in the movie industry, and just to make sure we didn't get any information incorrect, we decided not to go with recording that bit and putting it up on the channel, because if any misinformation came out from there on accident, we really didn't want to have to worry about that. Am I just ignoring? What am I just ignoring? Is there something I'm ignoring right now? I don't see anything in here worth ignoring. I know the one fool put it in oh well, and Kira Sakura put it in oh well. Oh, those aren't... Oh! Those aren't OWOs. Oh. Oh, I see what that... Okay. That's another thing I'll have to talk about. So let me contextualize this for those who are on YouTube. I added a couple new redeems over on Twitch because the subathon was lasting a very long time. People were racking up an inordinate amount of points over on Twitch. So instead of just having the 50,000 point categories, which I thought nobody would hit, but I've been proven wrong on, instead I added in some 200,000 point categories, which again, I thought nobody would hit. I was wrong. Kira Sakura has just proven that I was very wrong. So for 200,000 channel points, Kira Sakura has launched what is called the Tactical Nuwook. Anytime somebody does an OWO redeem for the next hour, I don't get to say OWO. Those are uwus. Every one of them. And I hate every one of you equally. So, Kira Sakura, thank you for redeeming your channel points for an OWO and making me hate my life just as much. And the One Fool, thank you very much for making me hate my life even more. OWO. Okay. Now that that shit's out of the way. Sorry, I was looking at the schedule stuff to make sure that I was correct in my timeline, and I didn't see the actual redeems. That was my bad. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, after me and Ocean talked for a bit at 3 a.m., we had another Remixin avatar hop on, Small Might. When I say Remixin avatars, I mean specifically the VTubers who, like the model you're seeing on screen right now, have been created by Remixin. So, Jade, Small Might. After that, I had Ginger Bob on. Now, if you don't know Ginger Bob's channel, Ginger Bob is a media reviewer, and he's got a pretty small channel, but honestly, it's really entertaining. And I've done a little bit of work for his channel in the past, just little cameos, stuff like that, but would highly recommend checking out his stuff. But Ginger Bob was on, and then I learned something. I should not be bringing, with one exception, groups on for anything. Because I brought on Channel Pup as well as Ginger Bob, and if you've been a fan of Sunset City for any amount of time, then you know that Channel Pup, love him to death, is a ball of utter chaos. Now here's where my first mistake was. I needed to sleep. But fuck me if I was going to be allowed to do that anytime soon. After Ginger Bob and Channel Pup hopped on, I had my first official nap of the subathon, which was absolutely wonderful. For those who are wondering how I handled sleep during this whole ordeal, yeah, that was... Asriel Hypo, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an... Oh, whoa. God, I hate this. And Alpacin, thank you for redeeming your points for an... You fucking monster. Anywho, I finally got to wake up 10 a.m. and we did a massive Gardic phone collaboration with Remixin, Yarakoro, Bonbon, Suzu, and Turning Tide Studios. Now, each one of them they are not all the artists that are involved in making this channel work. There's also Jack and Quill, and now technically Globenex as well, because, well, this is a thing, for those who have not seen it yet. I need to actually put it up, right? Yeah, this guy. This guy right here. This one is Globenex. So technically, Globenex is part of that whole thing as well. Congratulations, you're stuck here. Sucks to be you. But, and that also didn't include Salem Sky, who is also an artist who does work for the channel as well. So, yeah, there are other artists besides this group that work on the channel, but we brought all of them in, did a Gardic phone collaboration, and then, which is basically charades and telephone having a baby. After that, 12 p.m., we had Wayne as boss come in, and we played some Smash Brothers. And I realize now I did all of that without my GameCube controller, and that was a giant mistake. Wayne, we need to rematch with a GameCube controller. Going on from there, we had another VTuber on Kuni, or also Eldritch Mom. If you do not know Kuni, they do a lot of VR stuff over on their channel, as well as general video games, and also reviewing spooky, scary YouTube videos, and sometimes making fun of them because the ways in which people try to scare you on YouTube are sometimes rather pathetic. But that is what Kuni does over on their channel, and I'm going to try to speed things up a little bit because I know that there's a long list of people here. After that, we had Kana Nate on, and if you don't know Kana is a pixel artist who does a variety of gaming and pixel art content over on Twitch. And then at 10 p.m. after that, we had Nick from the Game Apologist hop on. So I'd had the entire Sunset City crew on by that point. After that, we had Suzu, who is responsible for the slime model, come in. Rayumi, who had a brief collaboration on as well. Bonbon, who's responsible for the 3D models. Trey Nobles, who is one of the musicians that helps out Emmy Jones, as well as runs his own channel. Jen Aldrich, also known as everybody's favorite dragon, on. And I'm trying to see who else we had in here on top of that. We also had Hannah Reloaded and Blackarot, which you guys have already seen the episodes for over on YouTube, at least I will hope. Then we had the interview with Ellie, who had previously been on for the League of Legends collaboration. Then we had Vice Rhino, Salem Sky, and there were a few other people who we wanted to bring in as well, and there are others that did come in that I'm probably forgetting. We also had Valk, Yakuza Mom, come in for a bit, who is the leader of the Moonlit Yakuza team over on Twitch. There are a lot of people who came on during this whole ordeal. A lot of them. Also, Doodle, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an oh whoa. Oh whoa. Also, I know I missed the hydrate. I will get it. Just, guys, please understand that when I'm doing the recording parts of videos, sometimes I am going to miss things, and I'm not going to get them immediately for the sake of getting the fucking video done, okay? I'm sorry. Jeebus. Anywho, continuing on. If I missed anybody in that entire list of people who helped out with the show, then please let me know in the comment section. I'm going to try to get links for everybody down in there as well. I also want to give a giant thank you to Raz, who helped schedule everything during this whole ordeal. It was a massive undertaking, to say the least. There were several instances where the entire Sunset City cast, me, Wayne as boss, Channel Pup, and Game Apologist, hopped on for chats as well. Most of that stuff is not recorded, so that's going to be stuff that's left to VOD history. You guys want to track that stuff down on Twitch? You are more than happy to. But with all that said, that is the list of people and collaborators and what we were doing on our various bits. I know it's a long one, but there were a lot of people involved in this whole ordeal. And there were various people who helped raid during the entire thing as well, and I don't have that list on hand. I know that Hannah Reloaded and Vosh and quite a few other people helped raid during the stream and kept the numbers going up and up and up. We even put in a Twitch partnership application during the stream. That still has not concluded, so we'll see what happens with that. But I think I need to actually talk about where I'm at now. Because there's a lot of stuff I learned during this subathon. For those of you who were in my DMs, you probably noted that during this time I was very, what's the word for it? Emotionally raw. When your life effectively becomes a copy of The Truman Show for half a month, and it could have been more, I'll get into that in a second, it's very hard to keep a filter on at all times. Because the camera's effectively always on you. The only times that the camera was not on me were basically when I had an opportunity to bathe. Like, if I was bathing or sleeping, the camera wasn't on me. Outside of that, for the most part, camera was on. Which, is quite hard to manage. It really is. Because at the end of the day, while I would have liked the Subbathon to be this thing where I was just like, aha, I'm playing games all day and it's wonderful and amazing, that's not how it was. That's not how it ended up being. The goal was to play through the first 4 Resident Evil games and get the videos up for all of them during the course of the Subbathon. And then to get my work done as well. But that's not what ended up happening. What ended up happening was I had to kind of scatterbrainly get done as much content as I could manage while I had the mental wherewithal to, and I got to get through 2 Resident Evil games. I'm in the middle of 3, and we will be completing 3 on stream later, and then completing 4 on stream. And then the next game that we're going to have to complete and then do a video on, we will talk about later. We also went through Metroid Dread on stream. That kind of interrupted one of those slots. We probably could have gone through all of 3 and 4 had I not been playing Metroid Dread, but I'm sorry, I could not stop myself from playing Dread live. So that you guys will be getting a Metroid Dread video. It's fine, don't worry. All that's going to be on the Suris channel. But I was talking about being raw. When you are having to keep as much of a filter on stream as possible, so that, you know, if you are having a breakdown, or if you are having a panic attack, or anything like that, you are handling it effectively. I am not the best at handling that stuff. For those who know the history of me and my work, I have lost a career to panic attacks before. My anxiety has destroyed my ability to work in a management position in a particular company. So I've had bad experiences with this already in the past. Keeping a handle on that for 16 days straight was not the easiest thing in the world. And again, there are people who can let you know that in DMs, I was having to rely on other people's shoulders quite a bit during this. Amanda, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an uwu, since the new Ook is still going on for another hour. Anyways, point is, there was a lot of emotions going on through my head. A lot of positive ones, and quite a lot of negative ones. Not having the ability to take effective time for myself, not having ability to take effective time with my partner, Raz. These things did not do a very great job for my own personal mental. But the ways that I'm going to be handling that in the future, if we have to do another subathon, and we live in America, so medical expenses will probably necessitate it eventually, I am going to be allocating time for Raz during the subathon. I am going to be trying to make sure that some of that is there in some capacity over and above what I did the first time. That's something that I need to do. I planned on the subathon lasting for 4 days. I made 4 days worth of content over on YouTube. The subathon lasted 16 days. If you guys are wondering why so many interviews popped up on the channel, those were not originally part of my plan. None of that was part of what I wanted to put up on YouTube to begin with, but the subathon basically necessitated that I create a merger between content creation and streaming over and above what I was already doing. So there's where the idea for the interviews came on. The interviews and the conversations and all that popped up on YouTube because I needed to fill that content slot on there, knowing that I, A, could not take time out of the subathon to do it, and B, knowing that talking about politics and hard political discourse is hard enough already without you being as emotionally raw as I was. Which leads me to my next thing. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a week off of streaming. Completely. I took a couple days off before right now, and I'm going to get some work done in the week that's coming up, but then on the 11th, I am taking a week off. So if you are watching over on YouTube and you're used to seeing double uploads, there's an 11 Eastern upload and there's a 6 Eastern upload that happens every day for the most part. Expect there to be a week where there is just one upload a day for a week, because I'm not going to be able to make effectively 20 some odd videos in 4 days. That's just not happening. I'm going to be cutting my content production in half for at least a week so that I can take that time off. And yeah, that's going to kind of defeat part of the purpose of the subathon, don't get me wrong. Part of it was, getting those bills taken care of and making sure that we have a little bit of financial security. Putting in half the work on YouTube for a week is going to cut into that financial security. I understand that. But I also understand, as somebody who has taken that time and had those panic attacks and lost that career once before, I understand that there's a divide between your mental health and your financial security. And in a perfect world, I could stream 12 hours a day and I could make so many videos on multiple channels and make a ton of money, and then I would be a husk of myself by the end of the first month. There would be nothing left of my mental by the first month that I was done doing that. But it's a thing I could do with the models that I have set up for my channels. It's a perfectly fine thing for me to do, but I won't, because, well, quite frankly, I'll need to go back to therapy if I do. So if there's one thing that I definitely learned from this subathon, it is how to better take care of yourself. That is something that I didn't realize I was going to learn through this. I thought this was going to be just an extended version of a 24-hour stream for me, where I was going to be doing more than usual, but pretty much okay past that point. That's not what happened. Yes, Azrael Hypo, this is why I was asking about road trip supplies, because what we've done in preparation, we are going on a road trip. We're going to Florida. I'm not going to say where. That's none of your business. That's my business. There are people who know where. It's their business. We got medical supplies for the car. We got non-perishable foods for the car that are all in a picnic basket, and it's winter right now, so I don't have to worry about them baking in there anyway. We picked up extra pillows and blankets for the car in case we get stranded for any amount of time, because I've been homeless living out of a car before, and I've done this song and dance once already. I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing where this is concerned. We have ordered new cases for our phones that have magnetic backs to make it easier to use them as GPS devices, because it's better than trying to balance them on the dash like we have been doing. We have picked up a fire hydrant that is specifically meant to be in the car as another just in case something happens. We've also picked up a device that plugs into the car and allows you to pump up your tires in case they die. Basically, anything you can think of that can be shoved into a car to make it extra safe for a road trip, we have picked up. Meaning extinguisher? Yeah, an extinguisher. We got that. Did I say something different? I don't know. Drebaman, thank you very much for the 700 bits. Enjoy your time off. I'm gonna try to. Guided missiles, we don't have that. I hate Twitch. Thank you very much for redeeming your points for an... You fucking monster. You know, hydrant? Oh, yeah, no. I said hydrant. Oops, sorry. A fire extinguisher. You get a second miniature car? I wish we had that kind of money. I wish we had that kind of money, but we don't. About the only thing we don't have in there right now is a fresh supply of water, but I'm going to be getting that literally as we walk out. So, yeah, no, the car will be fitted with everything we could use just in case we get stranded during our drive to another state. Are we going to Disneyland? No, I don't have Disneyland money. That's not money that I have. I fucking wish. Jesus. But, yeah, what, a hydrant? No, not a hydrant. I meant an extinguisher, damn it. But during that trip, expect there to be only single uploads on the YouTube channel for about a week. And then there may even be a couple days where the channel's just dark and there are no uploads, because if we end up staying an extra couple days there, then we're there. If push comes to shove while we're down, if something goes terribly wrong, I may try to figure out some way to get content out while I'm there using my phone. But in a perfect world, I'm just going to be taking that time off. I'm just going to be taking that time off, quite frankly. I have spent a lot of time, and as much as I have enjoyed all the time I've been able to spend with all of you, all the time I've been able to spend with various content creators, I've never been able to do that many collaborations before in my life, and I managed to do like 10 or 11 that all went up on the channel. Like, that's insane to me. But at the end of the day, I gotta take care of myself. I have to take care of my own mental. And I pushed myself to the edge during the subathon. So maybe we should talk about that. We got two last things the subathon's concerned we got to talk about. First is the artists who were involved in it. So, for those who know about my slime model, you know that I have the Witch Hat slime model now. So that was a rush order done by Suzu in order to make sure that I had that for the subathon. The fall model you see right now was a rush order done by Remixin to make sure that I had the fall model ready for the subathon. The Virgin Killer sweater model, that was Salem Sky's first live 2D model, and it was done on time to premiere during the subathon. Bonbon did work on the 3D model, the witch model. Had another version of that ready to go for the subathon. Every single model artist who is involved in working on this channel put in a shit ton of extra effort to make sure that I would have the assets needed for the subathon itself. And I am ridiculously thankful for that. If you want to go commission any of those artists, and I highly suggest you do, go check the description of this video, or if you are here on Twitch, go check the About section of my page. You will find links to every artist involved in making this channel work there, including links to Turning Tide Studios, Jack and Quill, and others who do other various pieces of work on the channel over and above just the models, because it's not just that. It's the models, it's the patron slides, it's the studio, it's the assets, like the fucking burger and Catboy milk in front of me. All of that takes work from artists. Go commission them if you've got a project that needs to be done. Every one of them are talented in various fields, and they all have unique styles, and I go to them for different projects for different reasons for that reason. But over and above congratulating the people who made this work, there's one last set of people I have to congratulate and thank. And that's all of you. This whole ordeal, streamers or not, would not have happened or functioned if it weren't for the support of every single one of you, including Striker, who's making me really angry with that oh well, because fucking tactical nuke. If there was ever a video to drop that on, I guess it was this one. Jankel says I didn't make a slime girl. I didn't say you did. I didn't think. I'm confused. Is there a thing I missed? Did I misspeak again? Somebody chat. No, Jack and Quill did not. Jack and Quill's not slime girl. Jack and Quill is responsible for the Patreon slides that go up on the channel, and there will be a new channel opener that is being animated by him as well. That is Jack and Quill's contribution. No, Slime Girl is Suzu Sawara. But during the course of this, had it not been for every single one of you, every single viewer, every single person who retweeted, every single person who took part in this subathon, we not only would not have been able to get our medical bills taken care of, but we would not have had this experience. Was this a negative experience for me? No. I mean, there was a lot of negative stuff that I got during it, of course. That's not what I wanted. Fine. There was a lot of negative stuff that I got during this. The anxiety, the panic, the constantly being on camera. But past that, really? This was not an overall negative experience, and I wouldn't have been able to do it had it not been for all of you. Like, every single one of you who donated, who retweeted, who stayed watching even when I was sleeping, you fucking weirdos. Every single one of you. You kept this thing going. You kept the momentum for this stream going for a ludicrous amount of time. Just a ridiculous amount of time. 16 days is a stupidly long time to be streaming. And during this, one of the guests we had on, Ellie had and concluded a subathon during this. Yakuzamon is 10 days into a subathon as we speak, trying to beat my record as of right now. It is insane the amount of support that goes into making something like this work, and I am well over and above flattered and humbled that y'all are here making this shit work. Which is why we have to talk about the ending of the subathon. Because it didn't end the way I envisioned it ending. I realized the subathon could have gone for more than 16 days. It could have gone for 20. It could have gone for a whole month. Chrissy, thank you for the 50 bits. Related to that, did you get Twitch Partner? No, I have not yet. We will see. They're still reviewing. But here's the thing. Here's the reason I know we could have gone further. Because as we hit 30 minutes left on the stream, another hour got donated. And after that hour, another 8 hours got added on from donations. All at the last second. Shadowbang and Miss Lacunas isn't a subathon. It is a 24-hour stream. She'll be doing the Kingdom Hearts series on her 24-hour stream. I believe. But have you ever been called in to a double during the last 30 minutes of a shift? If you've ever had that experience, that's what it felt like at the end of the subathon. Being on your last 30 minutes and having effectively an entire workday added to the end of your time. It was soul-crushing. Because me and Raz were planning on having a date at the end of the subathon. And when there were 30 minutes left, that's what we thought was going to happen. And then we got hit with that. And it was at that point that Channel Pup, that Ellie, that other streamers contacted me and just went, hey, you need to cut this off. Because this shows us that if y'all are given power, you will not let me leave. There may be different rules the next time that I start a subathon. There may be some clauses that, like, if I hit the last hour, then that is it. Like, I run that hour out so that I don't have that soul-crushing rubber banding that happens. Because remember, it's not just about the emotional toll it took on me, it's about the emotional toll it took on my partner. Yes, it got our bills taken care of, but there's a fine line between the amount of time you put into content and the amount of mental wherewithal that you have available to continue doing what you're doing. The Onefold, thank you for redeeming what is effectively an ooh-woo. Ooh-woo. Now, the two ways we can handle this are by having a cap at the beginning of the show, saying, like, we have a subathon, but we're capping it at 7 days. Or by instead having a rule about that last hour. Whichever way we end up going about it, and I don't know what we're going to be doing, those will be made up front. The other thing is, I will make sure that we have our pizza that time. I made a mistake, and I did all the things that I said I was going to do for the subathon, except having chat order me a pizza, because I couldn't figure out the logistics of how to make that work. So, that's cool, honey. We will do that next time, then. Ugh. But we will handle the pizza thing another time. Every bit of this has taught me that there needs to be different rules the next time I do this. Now, somebody might ask in the comment section, oh, what's the world record for a subathon? What's the world record for a stream? That record is 35 days. The second place is 31 days, held by Ludwig. I don't know if I have the capacity to go for a record like that. There's a part of me that's tempted to because we got halfway there. But that's going to have to be something that is discussed with my partner. That is something that's going to have to be planned infinitely better than last time. So we'll see. I do know that next time we will be doing the same formula. I will be making content during the show. I will be doing video games during the show. I will be bringing guests on during the show. All that stuff helps keep me in a bit of variety, keeping me sane, all of that. But the actual rules surrounding it may be a little different. Set time for 7 days. See how you feel. Time gets close if you continue. Rock on. We'll see. We'll see. That's going to be a conversation that happens with me and Raz, and other streamers who have more experience with this as well. But at the end of the day, I guess what I learned most from this entire ordeal is that I have a really, really amazing group of people. Not just viewers, but also other content creators who are willing to hop on, help, and lend their voices. Like, without people that I've met on this platform, both creator and viewer, none of this would have happened. None of this would have worked. I have to thank every single one of you. Every content creator that I worked with, I'm going to try to have their links all in the description of this video so you can go check them out. I highly recommend doing so. But past that, we are sitting at about 40 minutes. And I do need to take a very quick breather. So, if you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts of the subathon were through this entire maddening ordeal. If you want to support my channel and what I do, there are various ways to do so in the description below. And as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. If you want access to behind-the-scenes content for the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon. I do weekly vlogs over there where I give real-life updates to what's going on behind the scenes on the channel, stuff that you don't really get over here and even on Twitch. Patreon also helps the channel's stability a whole lot. Without Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Especially with the kind of content that I do, neither YouTube nor Twitch are the most stable sources of income. If you are a $20 and up patron, then you will be featured on the ending slides as shown in the beginning of the end credits. If you want to catch the streams where all this content comes from, then consider heading over to Twitch and following. And if you want to continue watching over here on YouTube, maybe consider clicking one of the end screen videos. And once again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me over on my channel. I wouldn't be able to do literally anything that I'm doing over here on YouTube without each and every one of you. So, thank you.